Guru Nation, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. Really means a lot to me. I've been getting asked a lot of questions from people in the CRO world. What is AI doing to my industry? What is the safest role for me to be in at the CRO? There are only two roles that I can think of right now in clinical research that I do not see AI being able to replace, and probably three. So the first one is a clinical research coordinator. In our current capabilities, we cannot replace a study coordinator. I've talked about this before on coordinator videos. I have an article coming out very soon on my LinkedIn. By the time you watch this, maybe it's out already. You need to subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter. So its link is underneath this video. Just go to my LinkedIn profile and click on my newsletter, Investigators Brochure. I'm going to go full in detail the history of CROs, why they are in a prisoner's dilemma. I'm going to actually do a podcast on this too because it's a super important topic. And then the most important role, because the thing with the CROs, they don't make their money the way the sponsors do. Sponsors make money when a drug gets approved or when they get acquired by another company because they have good results from a trial. In the case of a lot of biotechs. CROs, but they hire CRAs. They hire project managers. They hire medical monitors, all that stuff. Some sponsors hire CROs. Some sponsors do it on their own. CROs, on the other hand, all of them as of 2025 do not make money that way. They're not sponsor companies. Some of them, like IQVIA, get involved in the sales aspect once a drug's approved. But CROs make money days on site. How many days are the CRAs monitoring? Let's get the calendar booked. How many trips did you take? And then they also have what's called a cost plus model. So it's cost, meaning what they charge the sponsor for the project for this particular, let's say it's a patient diary. What do we charge for this diary? Well, they have a base cost for it, and then they have a plus. And that plus part, that margin that they make, it's the profit that they make on top of what it actually costs. A lot of these CROs are starting to build these tools in-house themselves. Or they negotiate special deals with the vendors, and then they charge the sponsor a premium, and that's their plus. That's all getting competed down because there's so many solutions coming on the market because of AI, because of all these smart startups that are out there that are thinking, okay, how do I do this for SUSARs? My buddy Andrew Mitchell, who used to be at Intralinks. How many of you guys, old school Guru Nation, will remember Intralinks? We still use it in the CRA Academy to some extent. He's starting his own AI company. Actually started based on processing SUSARs with AI. Do you know how labor intensive this one particular aspect of running a study is and what CROs are charging? CROs are charging cost plus. With more competition coming in from other tools, other AI providers, that plus is going to get knocked down. That cost is going to get knocked down. Both the cost and the plus are going to get knocked down. The grift is going to soon be over. That's what happens with good tech. Middlemen or the bloat gets competed down. But the CRAs, in my opinion, cannot be replaced. Not so much because of source data verification and source data review. The AIs will get pretty good at that soon. I think the AIs can already do source data verification, but source data review, a little harder. But you know what's impossible for an AI to do? Get a study coordinator to be compliant with something. Get a PI to be compliant with something. Get a PI to answer an email. Good luck ever getting an AI to have a PI answer emails when they're bombarded with emails. And so I think at the CRO level, the safest role will and forever be, at least in the immediate and distant future, a CRA. And the CRAs are going to need to have more soft skills, more EQ than IQ. They're going to have all the tools at their disposal. They're going to have metrics. They're going to all be data driven. They're all going to be told what needs to get done. Nothing's really going to get missed. No rock will be left unturned at the site. But in order to get that site compliance that the sponsor wants, that the FDA needs, that your managers need, you need a human being to go in there and talk some sense into those coordinators and the PI in a friendly way. And this is why it's helpful that you have the CRA, being you, have former CRC experience. Because that CRA-CRC dynamic is by far the most important relationship in all of research. And now, what's the safest role, arguably, in all of research, maybe even safer than CRA, although it pays less? CRC. Because CRCs have patient interactions, and until we get robots interacting with patients, and I mean physical robots like Tesla's Optimus Prime, walking to a patient and getting their blood drawn and walking them through the patient-reported outcomes, it's going to be awkward. In our lifetimes, at least, I don't see robots. I see robots maybe doing household chores. I see robots maybe walking dogs. I don't see robots being study coordinators and walking a patient through a visit, nor do I see robots figuring out ways to get patients randomized. Because there's always, if you look for reasons to screen fail a patient, or have a patient withdraw, or have a patient quit, you're going to find them. So it takes human ingenuity, creativity to keep the patients in, to motivate the patients to come to your visits. A lot of the times what coordinators do is convince patients to come to the office. Like, hey, you're kind of one day out of window, it's a deviation, but I'm going to take it because I want to see you in this. And we have incentives as a site to keep patients in. So I don't think AI is ever, in my lifetime at least, getting rid of coordinators, and I don't think they're ever getting rid of CRAs. Every other position, maybe even PI. Remember the way I started this video was 3 positions? I think the third one's PI, and that's only because of liability and because we live in a very litigious society. Otherwise, the PI can be replaced. The PI, there's AIs that are already doing better job at diagnosing patients than the PIs. If you go to any large health system, they have algorithms deciding treatment protocol for patients. It's not even the doctor. And in research, it could be the same thing. They tried to do this with decentralized clinical trial, whereas they wouldn't get rid of PIs entirely, but they would have like 1 PI per state. Didn't work well. A lot of litigation, a lot of liability, and also patients kind of still want to have human interaction. Patients don't always want to follow the script. Go figure. Patients think they're unique, which they are. Every human being is unique and has individual value. Systems don't see it that way. So those are the roles I think are safest going forward in a 2025 and beyond world. So if you're a CRA or you're someone looking, what can I do beyond CRC? I think it's CRA. And that's not to say the other jobs are irrelevant now, and it's still debatable whether AI replaces any of them. But the ones that I could logically and rationally see using my reason to not be ever able to be replaced are the CRA, CRCs, and PIs. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.